My name is Ryan McGowan, and I've been a rider with Hustle Hard Racing for the last 8 years. Very special bike we have here, 2025 Panigale V4S. This was the first one delivered in Western Canada, and this is the first one that is fully set up with extreme components, everything. So we basically have the extreme components catalog on this bike. Everything from clip-ons to lever guards. They provided all this amazing black fiber bodywork. It's about 15% lighter than carbon fiber, extremely flexible, crash resistant. The other things that Extreme has supplied for this bike are the engine case covers. These are in an aluminum case cover. They also provided this carbon fiber tank protector. It is a full single piece unit. It protects the back tank section. It replaces the little cutouts here that come factory, and we use the factory bolt locations to actually secure it, so it can come on and off without having to secure it with double-sided tape, which is a nice feature. When you use this in conjunction with the black fiber or Epotex or the carbon fiber bodywork from Extreme, it locks in the tail section right here, so it actually locks in underneath that. Additionally, on this bike we have the Extreme rear sets. This is their Gen 1 rear sets, and we are also running the carbon fiber frame protection, and we have carbon fiber swing arm protection. Additional items on this bike, we have Jet Prime Superbike switches on that side as well as on this side. This is the integrated onto the back side of the Brembo Master, so they have a couple of different options on the brake side. I chose to do this. It actually frees up bar space. Come around to the front, you're going to see the intake cone from Extreme as well. Now, in the next month or so, we will have the entire front fairing stay. It'll do a dash support as well, and that's all in carbon fiber. That's also from Extreme and available through Hustle Hard. Everything here is available through Hustle Hard. That's where everything was purchased through. So we'll keep moving along to other things that we have on the bike. You may have noticed the Galetto H2O Superbike Rad. If you plan to race at altitude or in a hot summer place that has any elevation whatsoever, that becomes a quick necessity. We are going to show you how this bodywork goes on the bike. It's very simply, we're going to show you how this whole tail section comes off and goes back together. We're actually running the stock tail light in here, and when you run an up map or any of the Ducati flash stuff, you can actually turn your tail light into a rain light, which is mandatory through all FIM classes, so you can keep it. The weight on the rear tail light is absolutely minimal. It keeps your wiring down to nothing. You don't have to add any extra wiring, so that's also a good thing. So I'm just going to step over to here and give you a brief. So this is the bodywork put together. It comes in two large pieces per side, like here, and then the front nose cone. This is the Extreme high bubble screen, and we looked at a couple different ones, and honestly the Extreme is the biggest. It's the easiest for a big guy. I'm just over 6 foot to get underneath the bubble. One thing you do need with the Extreme stuff is you will be reusing your stock wings. So there are mounting points in the inside, so you can reuse your stock wings or put on your carbon wings or your black plastic, however you like, but that's what we're left with. So I'm going to show you how this stuff goes onto the bike now. So it's very simple. This comes all pre-drilled, ready to go. You don't have to do any drilling on your bodywork. Locating this is very simple. Even with the Superbike Rad that we have on here, very simple. And you're gonna notice that there are windows cut from the factory. That's for the Superbike Rad to go on. So the intention is to have this as a full Superbike. So, doesn't come with the DeZeus fasteners. I used a 19 mil DeZeus fastener kit on it, and that works best. And for those of you that don't know, the black fiber is actually lighter than carbon fiber. It's an ultra thin Bodywork's very, very strong, very, very repairable. It's extremely flexible. So its tendency is to actually flex in the event of a crash or putting it down. So very flexible, and you can repair it. The base of it is basalt. So for anybody who's done snowboarding, you'll know that basalt is the go-to when you're trying to make a light, high strength snowboard. So very simple on these. Once you have it out, you basically get it over the edge of your stands. And it goes all on one piece. You just have to have the snorkel actually in and in place in the first place. It does come out. So once you have it up into the front, you're just going to reach into the front, feel for that snorkel, align it, and give it a shove back, and then you're in place. Then you mount your side stuff. So these are mounted with 3mm and 4mm Allen heads. Four on the top, three in the bottom. These are, again, this is exactly as it comes from the factory, so nothing changes there. There's a special note about the bodywork, and that is that for those of you who have noticed, the stock bodywork actually carries the radiator and the oil cooler, whereas this bodywork does not. So you will need to fabricate, if you're using the stock rad, a small offset clip. I do have a quick picture of what I've done there. Very simple. So second side, same as the first. You saw how easy that stuff went on. Not a lot of fuss. So as you can see, that's done. The last mounting points are, there's a couple of long screws that go and they pick up where your stock mirror locations were on the fairing stay up here. So we drop those in, tighten them down, and you are good. So the upper mounts have bosses built into the bodywork right there. So we just take a 4mm, and I actually run shorter 4mm than what came stock, and they push straight in there. And this is just to give a little bit of structure. So the belly pan, again, the belly pan comes pre-lined. If you're running a Termi exhaust or any of the other exhausts that come close to the side, I've run some extra heat shielding in along there. I had to make very minor cuts in the back just to allow for the Termi. The Krapovich does not do the same thing back there, so it slips on nice and easy.